Good morning and welcome to the Talk of the Town. My guest this morning is Professor Shamala Kumara from the University of Peradeniya. Good morning, Shamala.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Shamala, we're here to talk about recognizing and addressing structural violence. You work in a university setting. We hear of so many instances of university ragging. How do we go about recognizing violence in all its forms? Speak to us about the challenges that you've seen in the university setting.
Ragging, yes, is a very important issue and needs to be addressed. It needs to be addressed, however, within the context of understanding the broader violence that we as a society have. So, for example, we need to understand what perpetuates such violence and how social systems reinforce them, and how certain groups of individuals who experience violence are sort of not allowed to speak of it, and whose violence is not recognized. So right now we are talking about violence in the universities and ragging, but we need to be equally shocked about violence that may be happening in the context of workplaces, violence that is happening in homes, violence that it happens because a person is hungry, their basic needs are not being met. And there's no way that there's no recourse for them. I mean, that itself is a form of violence. So I think we need to contextualize it and address this problem within that context. Otherwise, it's just you're dealing with a band-aid solution, right? You're taking a plaster and covering maybe one part of it, but not addressing a bigger...
In a violent society, there is shrinking space for persons to express themselves, their hurts, their traumas, their emotions. At times, these traumas are collective. Where do people go to? Who do they talk to? And how do they address this?
So, yeah, I think part of it is maybe sometimes even we ourselves don't really recognize the kinds of forms of violence that we are subjected to, and that requires dialogue for us, and also sort of the understanding of a shared experience of violence. I think that's really important, and then then you sort of are able to speak of it, to express it, and I think that's where it all starts. Dealing with it starts with that. And dealing with it also involves seeing sort of it within the society in which it is manifested. I think that's really important. So, and you can do that through various means, like not just dialogue, but through art and, expressing the common, our humanity.
Shared humanity.
Yeah. I think that's really important. And then also, we need to recognize how institutions cause us to be subjected to these things, or cause us to not see it.
Yeah, because violence has been used to enforce systems of oppression. These inequities continue to manifest in our institutions.
Yeah, and we need to demand for something more, I think. I think right now there's a segment of our society that is so disengaged from our public institutions because they don't feel like it works for them, right?
Yeah.
And we have to start there. How do we make these institutions actually people's places?
Right.
That support people, that can protect people. And that needs huge shift in the way we do politics, the way we do provide social services, how our institutions work. And these things have been coming through years and years of oppression, starting from the war and going on. These sort of the securitizations, the control of people that have now embodied these institutions. We have to get out of that and think of these institutions as more democratic spaces.
All right. Thank you very much, Professor Shamala Kumara, University of Peradeniya. Thank you, and it's back to the studio.